The rumor started like a whisper, one that nobody could confirm, but everyone wanted to believe. It began with a blurry photo, a shadow of a signature, and a single shocking claim: Yaman had signed a secret document about Sara Bluma, one that could destroy everything he ever shared with Demet Özdemir. At first, fans dismissed it. Just another tabloid headline, they thought. But this time, the story didn't fade away. Instead, it grew louder, bigger, darker. Within hours, hashtags flooded social media: hashtag Yaman secret, hashtag Sara Bluma deal, hashtag justice for Demet. Every news outlet was asking the same question: why would Yaman sign something like that? And more importantly, who made him do it? According to inside sources close to an Italian production company, the document wasn't just a business contract, it was a confidentiality agreement tied to Sara's upcoming project, something involving personal narratives and private relationships. The clause allegedly prohibited Can from mentioning certain people from his past, especially Demet Özdemir. When this detail leaked, the internet exploded. Theories spread like wildfire. Some said Sara had demanded it to protect her image, others claimed Can's management had forced his hand. But a few whispered something even darker, that powerful forces behind the scenes wanted to rewrite his history, to erase the woman who had defined his most vulnerable years. Meanwhile, Demet was in Greece for a campaign shoot when she first saw the headlines. Her assistant showed her the phone, hesitant. "Demet, you need to see this." She scrolled silently, eyes narrowing as she read the words: Yaman signs confidential document about Sara, Demet's name erased forever. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, with a quiet voice that carried more pain than anger, she whispered, "If it's true, then maybe I never knew him at all." That night, paparazzi captured her standing alone on her hotel balcony, staring into the Aegean Sea. No words, no statements, no tears, just silence. Back in Rome, Yaman refused to comment. When journalists surrounded him outside a restaurant, he simply said, "Not everything written is true, but not everything denied is a lie either." The ambiguity only made it worse. Headlines multiplied. Can's hidden truth, Demet's silence, Sara's shadow over everything. Even his closest friends started asking questions. "Why would you sign something like that?" one of them texted. Can replied with a single sentence: "Some choices aren't about loyalty, they're about survival." But survival from what? Or from who? The story spiraled out of control. By morning, the headlines were everywhere: Can's secret deal with Sara, Demet deleted from his life. Inside the confidential contract that shocked the industry. Television hosts, influencers, and even former colleagues joined the debate. Everyone wanted to know the same thing: what was in that document? According to leaked details from an Italian entertainment lawyer, the so-called confidentiality agreement wasn't just a typical professional clause. It reportedly included specific restrictions on mentioning past relationships, emotional experiences, or persons connected to previous productions. The document even listed initials, D.O., which sent the internet into meltdown. Fans refused to believe it. Can would never do that to her, one wrote. He loved her too much. Others weren't so sure. Maybe fame changes everything, another commented. Meanwhile, Sara Bluma remained silent, posting only photos from her upcoming project with captions like "New beginnings always have a cost." Many took it as a subtle jab, a message to the world, and maybe even to Demet herself. Inside Can's circle, the pressure was suffocating. His manager warned him not to speak. "You'll lose sponsorships if you touch this topic," he said. Can slammed his fist on the table. They already took what mattered most. At the same time, Demet's world was unraveling quietly. She stopped posting, stopped attending events. Her friends said she had shut down completely. But one evening, she finally broke her silence. On her Instagram story, she posted a quote from a Turkish poet: "Some silences aren't peace, they're the sound of heartbreak." The reaction was instant. Fans connected it directly to the scandal. Within minutes, Demet and Sara were trending side by side across Turkey, Italy, and Spain. In the middle of all this chaos, a mysterious photo began circulating online, a scanned page, blurry but legible enough to read two words: non-disclosure agreement. And beneath it, a signature that looked unmistakably like Yaman's. Every outlet claimed it was fake. Until one journalist from La Repubblica confirmed that their source within the production team verified its authenticity. That was the moment everything changed. Overnight, Yaman went from heartthrob to headline scandal. Sponsors backed away, interviews were cancelled, and his reputation, once untouchable, was suddenly fragile. Sara's team released a vague statement the next day: certain documents exist for legal reasons. Any interpretation beyond that is purely speculative. It didn't help. In fact, it made things worse. Because if such a document truly existed, then Demet, the woman who had once been his muse, had effectively been erased by a signature. That night, Demet reportedly called an old friend from the set of her Kensi Kuss. Her voice was calm, almost too calm. "They're saying he signed it," she said. Her friend hesitated. "Demet, maybe he had no choice." She whispered back, "There's always a choice." The next morning, Italian paparazzi spotted Ken leaving a law office, visibly tense, refusing to answer questions. The only thing he said before getting into his car was, "Some truths are written in ink, others in blood." No one knew what he meant, but everyone knew this was far from over. The next few days felt like a war, fought in silence, with headlines as weapons. Every hour brought a new rumor, a new theory, a new piece of evidence. But beneath the chaos, something much darker was taking shape. An Italian journalist named Matteo Fabbri, known for his deep investigations into celebrity scandals, claimed to have found the missing piece, who ordered the document. His report opened with a single chilling line: the contract wasn't Sara's idea, it was protection. According to Fabbri's research, the document was drafted not by Sara, but by a powerful European PR firm that represented multiple luxury brands. The same brands that had recently signed endorsement deals with both her and Can. Their goal? To avoid emotional associations that could complicate international campaigns. In simple terms, they wanted to erase Demet from his story. Fabbri's article went viral instantly. "Power over love," the headline read. How image killed emotion. It painted a picture of manipulation, where Sara wasn't the villain, just a pawn in a much bigger game. But for Demet, the pain was the same. She saw the article late at night while scrolling in bed. Her hand trembled as she read the words, Demet Özdemir, restricted by Clause 9c. Her breath caught. She whispered to herself, a clause. I became a clause. Meanwhile, in Rome, Ken was at his breaking point. He hadn't slept for 2 days, bombarded by calls, lawyers, and journalists. Finally, he called Sara directly. "We need to talk," he said coldly. They met at a quiet restaurant near Piazza Navona. The tension was thick. Cameras caught them arriving separately, their faces expressionless. Inside, witnesses said the conversation grew heated. Sara's voice could be heard saying, "It wasn't me, Can. You think I'd ever want this?" He replied sharply, "Then why didn't you stop it?" She looked away, her tone soft but firm. "Because I was told it was the only way to protect us both." Ken stood up, his chair scraping against the floor. "Protect? You don't protect love by burying it." Then he left, leaving her speechless and trembling. Within hours, the video of their confrontation was leaked. Social media exploded again. "It's over between Can and Sara. Demet was right all along." But while the world celebrated the drama, something else was happening behind the scenes. Demet had begun working with a lawyer, not to sue, but to expose. She wanted the truth to come out, every name, every contract, every person who tried to erase her. "They thought I'd stay quiet," she told her friend, "but they forgot one thing, I know how to tell a story." That same night, she posted a photo of a burning paper with the caption, "You can't hide fire forever." The meaning was clear. She wasn't done. She was just getting started. Meanwhile, in Istanbul, Can sat alone by the window, scrolling through the chaos. For the first time, he smiled, not with joy, but with relief. "She's fighting," he murmured. "Good." And as the night fell over both cities, one thing became certain: this wasn't just about a document anymore. It was a war for the truth, and only one of them could end it. By the time morning came, the storm had already reached its peak. Every major network in Italy and Turkey was broadcasting the same breaking headline: Demet Özdemir strikes back, the hidden truth about Can Yaman's secret document. It all began when Demet's legal team leaked a dossier of internal emails. Communication between the PR agency, brand representatives, and legal advisors tied to the infamous confidentiality contract. The documents confirmed everything. Sara's name was used as a front, while the real intention was to reshape Can Yaman's image for international expansion, erasing his emotional past to make him more marketable. Within minutes, screenshots flooded the internet. One email in particular went viral. "We must ensure there are no references to his prior relationship with Do. The narrative must remain clean for European press." That one line was enough to detonate everything. Demet didn't hold a press conference. She didn't even post a statement. Instead, she uploaded a short black and white video on Instagram: no makeup, no background music, just her voice. "I never needed to be mentioned. I only needed the truth." In less than an hour, it hit 20 million views. Fans from all over the world flooded the comments: "She's fearless. The Queen has spoken. This is not revenge, this is justice." Meanwhile, in Rome, chaos erupted at the PR firm's headquarters. Executives resigned, contracts were cancelled, and sponsors withdrew. The scandal had become too big to contain. Sara Bluma disappeared from social media altogether. Her silence spoke volumes. Those close to her revealed that she had tried to reach out to Demet privately. But her messages went unanswered. And Can? He was nowhere to be seen. For 3 days, no one spotted him. No interviews, no appearances, nothing. Then, on the 4th night, he resurfaced, not on TV, not online, but at a charity gala in Istanbul. As he stepped onto the red carpet, hundreds of cameras flashed. One reporter shouted, "Can, do you have anything to say about the leaked emails?" He paused, took a deep breath, and said, "They destroyed something pure because it made them uncomfortable. But Demet, she brought the truth back. For that, I'll always respect her." Those words went viral instantly. Clips of him saying it spread across every platform, replayed over and over. "For that, I'll always respect her." It was the closure the world had been waiting for: raw, real, and final. That same night, an Italian magazine released its cover story: "Love Erased, Truth Reborn, the real story behind Can and Demet." The article ended with one haunting line: "He signed a contract to stay silent. She tore one to speak." And that, more than anything, summed it all up. The next day, Demet posted one final story, a single photo of the sunrise over the Bosphorus with the caption, "Freedom looks good on the truth." The post broke records. But this time, there were no scandals, no hashtags, no wars. Just peace. For once, the story didn't end in heartbreak, it ended in honesty. Days passed, but the world couldn't let the story die. It was more than gossip now. It was a symbol of truth versus control, love versus image, emotion versus manipulation. Demet Özdemir's quiet courage had sparked something powerful. Around the world, fans began sharing her quotes with the hashtag freedom looks good on truth. Interviews, articles, and documentaries began dissecting every detail, not to sensationalize, but to celebrate a woman who had refused to be silenced. In Istanbul, Can Yaman stayed out of the spotlight. Yet, those close to him said he was different now, calmer, humbler, more at peace. One evening, he was seen walking by the Bosphorus alone. A photographer approached, expecting him to look angry or broken. But instead, Ken smiled faintly and said, "It's strange, sometimes losing everything is how you find what's real." The photo of that moment went viral. His simple smile, no entourage, no fame, no armor, became the closing chapter of the storm. Weeks later, both were invited to the Venice Film Festival. Not for the same project, not even for the same category, but fate, as always, had its way. When Demet walked the red carpet, wearing a soft white dress that symbolized peace rather than power, the crowd erupted. Minutes later, Ken arrived, dressed in classic black. Cameras turned, hearts stopped. For a second, time froze. They didn't speak, not with words. But their eyes met, and in that look, the audience saw something that no document, no signature, no lie could destroy. Reporters screamed questions. "Ken? Demet? Are you too?" But they just smiled. Later that night, after the event, Demet posted one final story. A simple photo, the red carpet reflected in the water, blurred lights shimmering like broken memories, with the caption, "Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's letting truth breathe." That post became her most liked ever. As for Ken, he wrote nothing. But the next day, an Italian newspaper headline read, "They tried to destroy them. Instead, they made them unforgettable." And maybe that was the real ending, not about contracts or scandals, but two people who turned their pain into legacy. In a world built on silence, they dared to speak, and that changed everything.